All right, so when it comes to building wealth, two is always going to be better than one. And initially, if you aren't both on the same page or the same, I guess, level playing field, it's okay. You can work it out as long as you both are willing to work on goals together, then have goals separate on the side as well. You can work at the same time, communicate together. It's very possible to build wealth at least twice as fast when two people are doing it. So today I just want to kind of go over, share my story, how me and my husband met, and kind of how that went down in the beginning. So we ended up actually meeting on Tinder. Crazy thing. But yeah, we were together for almost 4 years before we got married. When we initially started talking and dating, I had already purchased my first property. I already had a home. And when we met, I was living there. But about 4 months after we met, I ended up moving out and putting a renter in my home and living with my mom. So at the time, he was in another city about 45 minutes away from me. And we were together about 9 or 10 months before I think his lease was up. So he was living with his grandmother, or his grandmother was living with him, and their lease was coming due. And I'm like, okay, we're grown. We've been together 9, 10 months. What we doing next? So at the end of the day, I know I have my house, and at some point, whenever my renters left, we would be going back to my house. So temporarily, we ended up staying in my mama's house. And for me, it wasn't a hard decision. I guess the only thing was past and previous experiences, wondering, okay, well, I've done something like this before in the past. You know, I've lived with somebody before. We'll see how it goes. It's definitely different living at my mom's house with somebody else, but he was down to do it. So that let me know that saving that money for the time that we were there was on his mind, and that was a goal of his. It was also a goal of mine. So I already knew he was about action, okay? So in the beginning, somebody's going to have to bring up a money talk. In my relationships, it's normally me because I'm always open to talk about money, and it's because I do it for my job. So super early on, once we start talking about goals, okay, well, how close are we? What do we need to do? So in the beginning, you know, he told me his credit score. I think it was either in the low fives or the super low sixes. And I was like, all right, well, I looked at the credit report. We looked at his credit report together. I know he pays off a little collection with Animal Hospital. And at that point, I put him as authorized user on my credit card, which helped him build credit. He was on there for a couple months. His credit score was coming up. And at that point, we decided that we actually needed a vehicle, or he needed a vehicle. I said, okay, well, I'm down to co-sign. I got the co-sign. So I won't say normally, but any loans we've ever applied for, anywhere, the lender or the people that we're borrowing from has always used the higher score. So in the beginning, probably still now, it's always been my score that they've used. He's pretty close. And I've been disqualified from even getting loans over the past couple years here and there because I haven't had any income. So it's been really helpful that his credit has been good because he has the credit and the income. Without the income, the credit, you can't do anything with it. So I need you to understand that as well. When you got two, somebody can pick up where the other person can't, and it's so helpful. Like I said, at times I haven't been working, I haven't had any income, and I haven't been able to do anything. We had to put some things on hold because I couldn't qualify for a loan. So, like I said, they normally use the highest score. We have made some mistakes. Our first mistake, we were probably together 2 years, and it was my birthday, and we decided to finance a mattress from Mattress Firm. And y'all know they got that 72 months for 0%. So we got sucked into that and dearly overpaid for the mattress. I was ready to let it go before we even paid it off. But we paid that. I think we might have took the full 72 months because we had it, and it was a low payment. But that's paid off at this point. That's definitely a regret. We didn't have to buy a $5,000 mattress. Like, I don't sleep that much better. If I was sleeping $5,000 better, I would be cool, but that's not what happened. So that's one of the earliest mistakes that we made. Another mistake that we figured out we made was we actually got married just a couple weeks before we had my first son. And after we got married, we realized, dang, Anthony hasn't bought a house yet. So now if we go to apply jointly, he doesn't qualify for the first-time home buyer's loan. So I won't say it's a lot of regret. It's something that might could have put us just a little bit, just that much further ahead if we could have gotten the first-time home buyers. But it did work out for us because the house that we purchased together actually was, we borrowed the money from my employer at the time. I worked for a credit union. So it was around COVID, and we actually got a 2% on our mortgage. So, you know, it's not that horrible of a mistake. It's not too bad. But consider that. If you and your partner are about to get married and you both think you may want to have a house or you think you want to invest in real estate at all, you might want to go ahead and purchase separately, and so you can take advantage of first-time home buyers for each person, okay? So, yeah. His credit is a lot better at this point. He can do whatever he needs to without me. I think it was last year we went and applied for a loan for some home improvements, and we just got a little personal loan. And, you know, while we were waiting to sign the loan documents for that loan, the lender or the lady who approved the loan for us slid a sticky note across the table, and I actually read the sticky note, and it said, you got automatically approved for a $20,000 credit card. Do you want it? Yes, please. Sign us up. So, I mean, he has available credit limits. His score, I don't think he's hit the 800s yet. I'm 804. Last I checked this past April. I don't think he hit the 8s, but he's right behind me. Right behind me. And like I said before, the score doesn't even matter if you don't have income. I am working part-time right now, so I can do what I need to do. But, y'all, somebody can pick up where the other person can't, and it's just that much more helpful. So you want to look at all your past and previous goals. You want to do that together if you can, so that you can kind of adjust and align and see how you can work on things together while also working on your own separate goals separately. So it's a lot of moving pieces. You're going to have to communicate well, but it's definitely possible. Reviewing and adjusting after major events, life changes, career changes, having kids, sit down, talk about it. Having kids has been had the most impact on my finances than any other thing in the world at this point. I started working when I was 16. I've been financially independent since up until I had kids, and at that point, I didn't have consistent income. So it's definitely been a big change, but my partner got my back. So you got to make sure that you respect each other's individual goals. You got to make sure that you make good decisions together. Celebrate together when you do achieve or when you do hit a goal. Celebrate, please. If you can, I would say weekly. Weekly, y'all need to have a little powwow, family meeting, something. All right, this is what happened this week. This is what got paid. This is how much we got left. This is what we need to do next week. Weekly. If you can, once a month, I say go on a date night and plan, strategize. Okay, so this is what you're doing next. How can I help? This is what we need to do together. We're trying to buy a house in the next year. This is how much we need to save. Is your credit on point? We got 6 months. You need to knock your credit card balance down so you can raise your credit score. Talk about it. You do need to maintain some sort of financial independence. I say that with a grain of salt right now because I don't have none. Without my husband at this point in life, I don't have it. So that's why I chose to build a business right now. I could go back full time, but I know at that point I'm still stuck at a certain limit. I'm at a ceiling, so that's just not it right now. But make sure that you, if you can, maintain some type of financial independence. I'm not saying have a secret account that you hide money in. I'm not saying, siphon out $5 out of his check every time he get paid, but have some type of plan because you don't know. You never know what can happen. Okay? So when it comes to working with your partner, if you have different mindsets or your credit scores are completely opposite, you're a spender, he's a saver, or the opposite, when you have these struggles and you're trying to improve your credit score and budget better, please talk about it. If you can, get you an Excel sheet or get you a budgeting app that both of y'all can log into. Keep a log, keep notes. Something needs to be written down, because if it's not written down, it's out the window, basically. So, yeah, we've done pretty good so far. Right now, where we currently are, we have my rental property. We own the house that we live in, and next we're trying to figure out if we want to buy a piece of land and build on it, or if we want to purchase a multi-family, live in one of the units and however many other ones, let them pay for our rent. So that's more long-term. Short-term right now is really me focusing on this channel and focusing on content and just posting every day. We out here. But that's all I can think of. If y'all got any questions, yeah, let me know in the comments, and I'll be back tomorrow.